What is up, everybody? I'm No Legs Given, and today we are going to take a look at a game that I am calling Double Reduplicroc. And if you don't know what the Reduplicroc strategy is just yet, you are in for a treat. The Reduplicroc strategy is a bunch of fun, and I think part of the fun is the fact that this strategy seems so unassuming. It doesn't look super powerful on the surface, but some of my viewers might remember that I've actually used this strategy to win lobbies of Storybook Brawl 99 in the past even, so it definitely has got what it takes to win real lobbies, and I think that this is actually the best Reduplicroc game that I've ever had. It certainly is more powerful than the one that I used to win the game of Storybook Brawl 99, and ultimately just a really fun game. The finals are also absolutely crazy, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy this one. We're playing Pied Piper, which is one of the better Reduplicrocing heroes because you have more easy access to Bear Stain, and then you can put something in a croc and summon a whole bunch of copies of it. It's also a little bit easier to grab tier 4 treasures on Pied Piper, and Reduplicator is half of the combo with the Reduplicroc. You can grab those tier 4 treasures from Blind Mouse or from finding some triples of tier 4 animals. Either of those ways work, and I don't actually remember how we are going to get the Reduplicator. I think we go through a bunch of tier 4 treasures though in this one, if I remember correctly. Playing some summons for a little bit, we'll have a summoning portal, and then we'll play the best summoning comp, which is of course Reduplicroc. So gonna be some fun in this one. Kitty Cutpurse is gonna be able to grab that sleigh on turn 2, which is great, and we even get a win just because of Black Cat plus Labyrinth Minotaur being quite strong for us. And here we can pick up a Blind Mouse, or we can pick up a pair of donkeys. It's pretty hard to turn down a pair of donkeys. I also want to take a second Blind Mouse, so I'm considering just locking this shop. It also does have another Kitty Cutpurse for us, so I like a lot of what I see here, and I'm going to wind up picking up both donkeys this turn. It's just better econ-wise. Could have also taken one Trojan donkey and then like the sugar and spice plus the Blind Mouse, and maybe not even locked, but I do think that donkey is just good as well on Pied Piper, especially as a pair, but we're gonna have more access to donkeys just as the game goes on. And one thing that I do think about a little bit is like donkey as a pseudo replacement for Wonder Waddle. This game was played on the previous patch, I believe, but being able to find triples of level 3 animals, I think does provide an interesting gameplay pattern for Pied Piper, because you can potentially find crystal balls just a little bit easier, which is a lot of fun. I always really like to pick up polywoggles when I am playing this hero too, so I wind up selling off my golden chicken to pick up that. I'm not going to worry about another Labyrinth Minotaur or another Kitty Cutpurse though. There's just too many other things that we're looking for now that we want donkeys and blind mice and polywoggles. We also don't have to worry about more black cats, but yeah, want to make sure that we're taking as many chances to find some of those other things that could be pretty decent for us, and that's definitely going to be what winds up pushing us a little bit in the summons direction. We do get some extra gold there with the Kitty Cutpurse spawning off the donkey, and a really lucky shop as well, where we get to pick up a donkey and a Blind Mouse. Now, we're not going to be super lucky with the treasures that we find, but we are going to just pick up some stats with a Ring of Rage and a Helm. The Helm being quite good for the donkey, and then the Ring of Rage being good for basically everything else that we have. I'll free roll and then pick up a polywoggle after that, but the idea being that the Helm is going to have some nice synergy with the donkey, and I'm even going to play down a slot so that we have space for this donkey to summon into, and then I play the Blind Mouse as my second unit. That's deliberate because I want Blind Mouse to quickly die so that way more things can spawn in off the donkey. So just trying to maximize that space, and hopefully we can find a polywoggle. I'm always pursuing a lot of different routes when I'm playing Pied Piper. Looking for Hat Ball, okay, didn't work. Looking for Blind Mouse, looking for Polywoggle, and also just playing summons and seeing what sticks. And we're gonna have some of it stick here as we deal some nice damage to Skip. Again, I don't really care about a Black Cat triple. It does get us a tier 2 treasure though, and I think I'm somewhat interested in that. And then I wind up picking up Crown of Atlas. Don't remember that part of the game, but it's just some nice additional stats for Polywoggle, and I kind of want to try to slay with Polywoggle here because it is 4.0, so I think I might play some Polywoggles this turn. Again, I don't remember everything. I also use this as an excuse to backline the Black Cat, the idea being that, again, I want things to die for the Trojan Donkey. And then I'm realizing that I'm kind of tunneling on all of these animals. And I take a look at the shop and I'm like, Ring of Rage is really good with Feasting Dragon. So I should probably just pick that up. I'm saying, okay, Mummy is good with Ring of Rage as well. Greedy's good with the Helm. Should I be exploring any of these options? Wind up not, but definitely all some things to consider there. Earthquake going to have us spawn a Greedy anyways, and a Godmother is going to be very, very strong for us. I think I said this already, but this game was played on the previous patch, but it's not that different of a patch, so I thought it would still be a really fun game to look at. Gonna kind of have a mix of previous patch content and new patch content over the course of this week, as I just want to show off some sweet games that I have not yet still. Wind up picking up a Hippocampus, which is definitely something that I really like to build into on Pied Piper. Then I'll lock the shop. It also has a Bearded Vulture, but mostly I'm just in it for the Hippocampus of it all. We picked up 2 Time Flies this turn as well. Both of those are going to be strong. And then we've got the Blind Mouse. Maybe I'll go into Summoning Portal next. Summoning Portal is always so awkward because it's less stats than just Ring of Rage. Even when you're playing these summon comps, you'd rather have Ring of Rage most of the time, because giving Black Cat and the Cat token plus 3/0 each is better than just giving the token plus 1 or something. We get a nice little bounty for ourselves here that this APOC is donating some huge gold. We've actually been pretty lucky to earn a ton of gold from the donkey as well so far, from the Greedy last turn, from the Kitty Cup Purse a few turns ago. All of this going very well. Chupacabra even going to give us some additional stats there from the donkey, and you can see those stats do stick around on the Hippocampus and on the Time Flies that are in our hand. So that's pretty sweet stuff. And then I will triple campus. And once I have a triple campus, this is part of the key to the Reduplicroc strategy, is that you triple the Hippo playing Pied Piper, and that gets you the Reduplicator, and then the Hippo is the thing that you wind up putting into a Croc later on in the game that winds up being quite powerful for you. So I am debating if I want to try to play another Hippocampus, ultimately going to decide to just keep on rolling, and I'm glad that I do, because I wind up finding a pair of Polywoggles. Gonna pick those up along with a free roll, which then lets me lock onto another Blind Mouse. And I don't even know if I need tier 4 treasures at this point in the game, but whatever. Maybe didn't have to backline the Black Cat at this point, but we're kind of full up on the board with Reduplicator anyways, so yeah, we just had too much stuff going on. This Celestial Tiger also has a bunch of stuff going on, by the way, and is going to wind up dealing us some damage, but only 8. We're still at 26, still feeling relatively healthy. I'll pick up that third Blind Mouse, and I don't know, do I take a Forking Rod or something here? Do I take a deck of many things? I think 6 of Shields is also fine, but just wind up taking a Forking Rod. One big consideration for Forking Rod is well, I don't really care too much about the Helm anymore, but the other thing is maybe I could find a spell like Ride of the Valkyrie, which I can use to get some additional attack on these Polywoggles, and that is definitely going to be worth picking up here. I also pick up Black Cat before I do this, just because because I feel like I'm going to play Black Cat this turn. Fortunately, I find another Polywoggle right after that, and that kind of makes me want to bench my unupgraded Polywoggle despite the fact that it just rode the Valkyrie. The cats that get summoned off the Black Cats won't have that +6 attack, but what's nice is the Time Flies do, so those come in absolutely huge. If we could have reduplicated one of those, that would have been nice, but we're just going to wind up reduplicating a 4/1 cat. Still fine. We get the Slay with Polywoggle, that's all I care about, and we get the win and the kill with the Hippocampus. Our upgraded character is going to be a Boomhilda, which an upgraded Boomhilda, definitely not bad. It's a ton of stats. We can throw that on Feasting Dragon, we can throw that on the Black Cats, all of that is going to be really powerful. Heck, we can throw it on the Polywoggles and try to make some more powerful units. I'd really like to find another Polywoggle this turn, if possible. If not, it happens. I get it. But that would just be great. Baby Bear, though, also going to be great on the Boomhilda. And it works because of the Reduplicator. So now these Polywoggles get in, and then the Baby Bears can die, and will still summon onto the Boomhilda. So I'm going to pick up both of these Baby Bears cycling through the Golden Chicken. And could probably cut this Donkey in the back line at this point, too, for Black Cat. But it doesn't matter. It's all pretty good. Hopefully we can still slay with one or the other of these Polywoggles, and we get to slay with the first one, which is good because the second one probably wouldn't have attacked for a little bit because of the Time Flies and Baby Bears of it all. It would have been tough to make that work exactly, and I didn't really think about that. That we weren't super resilient. Sometimes when you put a Polywoggle in 1 and 2, it's very good for you. It's not as good here. I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna try it again. But you know, I mean, hey, it worked last turn. I'll cycle through another Golden Chicken, and then I will triple the Polywoggle. That's what we are looking to do. Let's grab an upgraded tier 6 unit right before level 6. Still just super, super powerful this game. I kind of want Time Flies. I'm going to cast this Lightning Bolt first, thinking that we'll drop the Forking Rod here, and I figured I'll take a Summoning Portal. I'm not super interested in it, but we're so far into summons at this point that I will go for it. The main reason, though, that I do that is because the only way to play 3 Time Flies is to first upgrade your first 2. So that's the reason that I do for it. Wind up picking up a Summoning Portal for our troubles, and it will still provide some extra stats, and next turn we're just going to roll for Bearstain. Definitely don't want to lock on 5.2 as Pied Piper, because you just want to start rolling for some Bearstain, and we can see that my opponent is got a Bearstain themselves. Kind of look like an APOC board, a little bit of just good stuff there, but we are going to be powerful enough that we are going to defeat them. We've got a really, really strong board put together. It's kind of a close one, but we are going to take Skip out, and it doesn't matter too much. There's no pool or anything like that we're competing for. I was kind of upset that we didn't get to slay with Polywoggle by just that much, but it was unfortunate. Don't have a Bearstain yet, so these evil twins are just kind of taunting us, but Hercules is pretty cool. Hercules immediately goes to 50, and that's pretty awesome. You have to at least consider here selling 4 things and making an evil twin of Hercules with 50 attack, and then activating both of those Hercules. It would be pretty awesome. We could sell this bench, grab a second Hercules. I really want to do it, but I decide against it. I'm just going to go back to rolling for Bearstains and not worry about it. But let me know if you would have been tempted in the comments to go for that play, because it was definitely quite tempting. I consider the Burning Palm, but I realized just 2 more rolls, 2 more chances at finding Bearstain is probably better off for us. Polywoggle winds up slaying, gives us a Scion of the Storm. Not exactly what I was looking for, and unfortunately Hercules gets attacked into by a ranged character, so that's a little bit annoying as well, but we are still really, really ridiculously strong, though that APOC has got a Pandora's box on the way. Regardless, we find ourselves with a Bearstain, so now we are once again really strong, and Now, all that there is left to do is croc this hippocampus, and we're playing the Reduplicroc comp. The idea being that the croc will die, it will summon 2 hippocampuses because we'll have the Reduplicator and we'll play no other summons, and then both of those hippocampuses will get a bunch more stats from our bear stains. Plural, we've got 2 bear stains now, and then those hippocampuses will pass all of their stats onto Echowood, and that will lead to a really, really powerful, really huge Echowood. So that's the idea here. We are also going to grab a tier 6 treasure this turn from Hercules, so that's a lot of fun. If we find an evil twin, we'll have some decisions to make. Will we want to pick up a bear stain, or will we want to play another Hercules? It depends. We'll see. We'll see where we're at when we get there. Hercules is going to activate this turn, so we'll see what treasures we can grab from that as well. And now I'm also just frontlining this hippocampus because it is more than big enough to survive and gain some additional stats while I summon some more characters in here. So yeah, this is all looking great. It does go down eventually, but I only have like 1 or 2 more bears left. Doesn't matter, it missed 2 health worth of spawns. Not a huge deal. And our tier 3 treasure, or tier 6, our third, I don't know why I said tier 3, our 3 tier 6 treasures, that's what I meant to say, show us 2 that I don't really care about and a mimic chest. And Mimic Chest is kind of funny because I do think all of my treasures right now are reasonably good, but Mimic Chest is just going to make those even better. And this is where we get the double Reduplicator action going on here. I do kind of like the ability to pick up a baby bear because then it could mean we could pick up more baby bears in the future. And I also kind of like the good boy that was in that shop because it is also a lot of fun to Reduplicroc a good boy. But I just wanted to roll and try to find the croc spell. We didn't have any time left on the clock, so just going to wind up locking onto it for this turn. Think that that is totally good enough, but in hindsight, now we don't have a use for the summoning portal, because we are no longer going to play all of these various summons. We're not going to play any of these baby bears. We're not going to play the black hat, and we're not even going to play the time flies. We are just going to play Reduplicroc. The reason that we do that is then we guarantee that our summons all from Reduplicator and Mimic Chest all summon a hippocampus. And that's kind of the idea here. Another good boy, again, somewhat tempting, but we probably just want to fill out the rest of our board with like Monster Book or some other type of scam. But it's interesting because we don't actually even want to play these baby bears. I wind up picking up the baby bear, I believe, here, and even just take a look at what it would look like to play a copycat, but I don't want to play a backline bear stand. Oh, I don't even... Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize that, but I don't even play the baby bear. Oh, because I take it here. Okay, that makes sense. The reason for this is I just don't actually need the summoning portal anymore. Summoning portal does nothing for us, and Ambrosia, actually quite a good treasure. There were a number of good treasures that we could have found there, but Ambrosia is one of them, and I think that was my opponent being a little bit excited that we didn't have much of a comp, and then all of a sudden we have an incredible comp here. My opponent with what looks like to be an insane endgame comp. Mirror Mirror, Good Boy, Double Princess P, Echowood. Yeah, well, we got Reduplicroc. We got double Reduplicroc. It's triple Reduplicroc even. So really, really powerful. And is actually going to result in a tie, which is unfortunate because the Reduplicroc strategy is very, very scammable. If my opponent finds a Pigomorph, I'm potentially done for. So what I do is I go for another Croc spell. That's why I'm going for this Drink Me potion here. We also don't need another Bear Stain because we have the Ambrosia, and I find it. Now I can put a good boy Croc out there, and I think that's going to surprise my opponent even more and just blow them out of the water. This is going to be really, really strong. Now, a scam spell from my opponent like a Pigomorph or a Medusa or even a Cupid, all of those things could be very, very awkward. Even, heck, a Lightning Bolt or a Smite could be really powerful. My opponent has a Pigomorph and a Medusa. They have it all. We are going to get crushed. This is not going to be a tie. It's not going to be close. But we still have a bunch of health left. And then I realize that I shouldn't just be playing triple Reduplicroc. I should be playing double Reduplicroc. And that is where the name of this video comes from. We play both of our crocs here. And from there, I'm also going to pick up a lightning dragon, so that way we can just throw in a different thing. I didn't want to play a monster book or some other characters like that, because then you risk those getting attacked into, and then you don't have enough board to summon all of your crazy hippos and things. But Lightning Dragon gets to immediately make that bonus attack, and then you don't have to worry about it. I also think about picking up a Medusa of my own. I think that that could have been reasonable against my opponent's comp. But this board is much harder to scam, because now if my opponent's Medusa attacks either one of my crocs, the other one still has a whole comp inside of it. And that actually made this incredibly resilient and super powerful. Here we are going to shock my opponent with these upgraded good boys that all become 64 upgraded good boys. That's bigger than Mirror that my opponent has got going on. Then we summon a Hippocampus too, and it doesn't even matter. My opponent's Medusa can attack into either of these good boys. We're going to have more than enough stats from 2 upgraded good boys dying, and that is going to be enough to get the win against my opponent. Really sweet game. I thought this one was a ton of fun. Props to my opponent for recognizing that they needed to scam, but they just weren't able to scam all of these crocs, and we were able to just make some crazy, powerful, and huge summons. I did get a little bit lucky that my upgraded upgraded baby bear turned into an upgraded good boy, but, well, that was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lex Given. Peace.